Welcome to Tommy's Reptiles. Look at that giant horse trough in that truck. We got it in my yard. Now we have to take it and put it over here, but first we have to clear all this stuff out. My turtles need a nice huge upgrade. They need way more water to swim, so let's unplug the filters and start breaking this down. Now let's drain the two old ponds. And while that's draining, I'm going to go ahead and grab my two Mississippi map turtles. There's one. This guy has some stuck shed we need to fix. And let's grab his twin brother. I've had these guys for about 6.5 years now, and they're still doing great. I'm actually going to keep these guys inside for a little while in my 60-gallon fish tank, along with my diamondback terrapin and a few fish. That way, I can keep a closer eye on my Mississippi map turtle that has stuck shed and make sure that it gets fixed. Now it's time to take all these old tubs, throw them right in the street. Hopefully somebody will come by and pick them up. Now I'm just breaking down these two DIY bucket filters that I've been using for about 3 years, and I'm going to save one just in case. And continuing to get all the junk out of the way. Let's start working on the new turtle pond by drilling a nice hole in it. This step is very important to ensure that your pond doesn't overflow with rain so your turtles can't get out. Next, we're going to give the new horse trough, aka turtle pond, a nice pressure washing to make sure that all the dirt particles get out of it. Alright, it's time to kick this old pond to the curb. And finally breaking down the last pond. Then I'm going to go ahead and pressure wash some of that mud away so the horse trough has nothing under it. Okay, let's move it in place so we can start setting it up. There we go, let's start filling her up with water. And before I forget, adding the dechlorinator. Here we have my two largest turtles. On the left, we have a concentric diamondback terrapin, and on the right, we have a Belize slider. Let's put them in and acclimate them to their new home. I'm so excited to finally be able to give these guys much more room to swim around. They'll have plenty more room for activities. In you go. Let's drag this last pond to the boneyard. Here's another look at how much more room these turtles have to swim around in. It's a huge upgrade from their last ponds, and I'm pretty pleased with it. I'll never say that I won't go bigger, because I want to always give my reptiles the biggest enclosure I can possibly provide, but this will be good for now, and at least for a couple of years. I'm now setting up the old bucket filter just to keep some water flow going while I set up the rest of this horse trough. But you guys will see I got a way better filtration system than these old bucket filters. Hey, don't get me wrong, they've served me well. Just gonna put this rock in here in case they want to rest on it. Here is their new filtration system, the Sun HW3000. Just gonna rip it right out of the box and then start separating the pieces and then start the assembly. I got this canister filter on Amazon for around $134, and compared to other brands, this is like 1/4 of their price, so that's a steal. It has 4 media chambers and a UV sterilization light. Let's start putting this thing together. Here, I'm connecting the inlet and outlet tubing to the canister filter. This tubing is nice and thick, and it's actually kind of hard to slide on there, but that's good because that means it's a nice watertight seal. This filter only comes with those filter floss pads that you see, so I'm adding some of my own media. I'll have to go grab more media later this week. Alright, let's start stacking them in. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Under the lid of the canister filter is where you clip in the UV sterilization light. Before you plug it in, just make sure it has no cracks on it. Then you just gently slide it in there, and then give it a nice push, and it clips right in. Don't forget this next step is the watertight protective tubing for the light, so no water can touch it. Now it's time to close the lid of the canister filter. You'll see shortly that I forgot one step. Comes with these 4 nice clips, which are very easy compared to like a fluval canister filter. Here's the inlet tube. It's pretty cool. You connect it right here and then you can extend it. Here I'm adding the other side of the tubing to the inlet, and then also to the outlet. The inlet and outlet have adjustable connectors, so you can fit this to multiple different size fish tanks, and here you can see that I fit it to my horse trough. Once you get it on there, you can go ahead and tighten it pretty snug with these nice little tightening screws. Here's the step I forgot earlier. I don't know what this thing is, but I know I have to add it, and it goes right here. So let's close it back up. Now for the moment of truth. It worked! We can finally retire this old bucket filter. Next, I'm adding this wave maker to really break up the surface tension and give the turtles some stimulus. This will also keep a lot of oxygen in the water column. I'm really liking how this pond is turning out so far. You can really see that the diamondback terrapin is enjoying that current. This is what he'd be doing in the wild, in brackish water inlets. The last step of today's video is to stack these bricks and to make a little basking island. The water was a little too high, so I had to flip the outlet over and drain about 1.5 inches of water. And don't worry guys, this basking spot is only temporary. Soon on the channel, I'll be making a video on how to make a huge DIY turtle basking area for these 2 turtles. And I'm hoping to get that done within the next few days, so stay tuned. But in the meantime, I need these turtles to be able to get out of the water, dry off their shell a little bit, and get some rest. Here's the current state of how the horse trough turned into a turtle pond turned out. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching Tommy's Reptiles.